What's up, everybody? It's Detevitz back with some more Star Trek Online. Today we're going to take Thrawn in and continue on with the next step of his career progression. Last time we completed the researcher rescue mission. We saved a bunch of scientists from a Gorn attack on a research space station and also on a couple of different planets. We did get our new set of orders. I forget exactly what they are. It's been a couple of weeks, but we'll take a look at the mission log when we get in and see where we need to go next. So our next mission is Secret Orders. So this is a message from Starfleet Intelligence. There's something that they'd like us to look into. It could change the course of the war in our favor. We have intel suggesting that the Klingons are operating from a secret weapons facility in the Hiromi cluster. We also believe that the base is under command of Ambassador Bavat, a controversial figure in Klingon politics. Starfleet Intelligence would like us to get to the truth of the matter, and soon. To that end, we are being sent one of their top agents, Lieutenant Van Zyl, and we are to proceed to the Briar Patch to find out what the Klingons are up to. If there are any weapons there, you are to deactivate or destroy them, and should you encounter the Ambassador, do bring him in. Starfleet Intelligence would like a word with him. On completion of this, we'll get some dilithium ore, a new set of armor, some experience of course, some expertise, and then we'll also get a console reward for our ship. The Briar Patch isn't too far away from where we currently are. We are still using the Ryzian Corvette that we got from completing the summer event. This large nebulous area here is the Briar Patch. So we have a choice of what we can do here. We can either do a straight-up system patrol, or we can actually do the mission here. There's two things. The Briar Patch used to not have a system patrol inside it. Warning: Starfleet has deemed this area of space to be a Level 6 hazard to starship navigation. Hazards include high levels of metaphasic radiation, pockets of Metreon gas, supernova fragments, and false vacuum fluctuations. Ship speed is restricted to 1/3 impulse to avoid damage to impulse manifolds. So once we get inside the Briar Patch, we won't be able to go that fast unless we were a science officer. Since I'm an engineering officer, I can't compensate for the Metreon gas effect on our engines, so we have to go slow. Here is Lieutenant Kyla Van Zyl. Thank you for having me along, Lieutenant. I look forward to solving this little mystery with you and your crew. Right, to business. Long-range sensors are picking up several Klingon battle groups. They appear to be placing self-replicating disruptor cannon turrets throughout this region of space. If we don't take out those cannons now, this entire asteroid belt will be bristling with Klingon defenses. Thank you for suggestion. Anything else? Well, the composition of this nebula will make maneuvering at high speeds impossible. In addition, the Briar Patch contains pockets of Metreon gas. The gas is highly reactive to weapons fire, and it could be very dangerous. Starfleet recommends we keep at least 4 kilometers away from any of the gas clouds. This should keep us safely out of range if one of them happens to ignite. Keep a distance of 4 kilometers. Got it. However, the gas also can be used as a weapon. Do you remember the Riker maneuver? If we detonate the pockets of gas when the Klingons are close to them, they'll do a lot of our work for us. That's a reference to one of the more recent movies with the Next Generation cast. It took place a large part inside the Briar Patch, and Commander Riker, I think he was still a commander at that point. He may have been promoted. It's been a while since I've seen that movie in particular. I can't even remember which one it actually is. He uses the Metreon gas inside the Briar Patch to disable some enemy ships. So we've got to destroy the Klingon disruptor turrets. So we'll go ahead and move on in. Lieutenant, as you are aware, the Metreon clouds in this system require us to maintain a low impulse speed or risk damage to the ship. You sound like you have an idea. I do. It's a little on the radical side. Let's hear it. I think if we modify the Broussard collectors to filter out only a percentage of the Metreon particles, then we could use excess energy to go to full impulse without risk to the ship. I'm not exactly sure what that percentage might be, though. Because I'm not a science officer, I only have one option here. It's too risky. We'll adhere to Starfleet guidelines on speed for this mission. If I was a science officer, I'd be able to select, I think that might work. My calculations put the filter rate at about 68.2%. I can't do that. I'm an engineer. So we've got to go slower. And this here, there's a pocket of Metreon gas 8.46 kilometers ahead of us. I'm going to show you what happens when you shoot it. It blows up, and anything that's within a 4-kilometer radius of the initial pocket blows up as well, or it gets damaged as well. I can see some Klingons moving out here. There's a Raptor escort somewhere in this area. I'm heading down to the heavy disruptor beam. We don't necessarily have to fight that Raptor, although we may have no choice. He's getting closer to us. Let's go ahead and take care of this. Because there's also some Verteron particles over here, which are a rare crafting component that I'm going to go ahead and pick up. So the Raptor is a heavy kind of escort destroyer. They have a lot of forward-firing weapons, a lot of heavy cannons. Once he starts turning away from me, he has very limited options on weapons that he can actually fire back at me. Go ahead and take the items that he drops. Get a little bit closer to the Verteron particles, so we should be able to scan them. Alright, back to the heavy disruptor cannon. Some Klingon fighters here, some Toduj. Fighters go down pretty quick. I mean, they're really tiny in comparison to us, but they're just really maneuverable, so it's a good chance that some of my shots would have missed. This bird of prey should go down relatively quickly, too. So I forget exactly how much damage the Metreon gas does to you if you get too close to it. So for scientific purposes, we're gonna get close to this one and shoot it. I think I might have been a little too far away from that still. Let's go ahead and take out this heavy disruptor, and then we'll sacrifice a little bit of our hull integrity to see for science. To see how much damage the Metreon does to us. Sensors are picking up energy signatures near the large asteroid. Looks like defense turrets guarding a facility on the asteroid's surface. Judging by the layout I'm reading here, there's a KDF military research station built into that asteroid. I think it's worth investigating. Our Klingon friends are up to some mischief in that base, I'll wager. So here, we've got a Metreon gas cloud here, not under 1.5 kilometers away. Let's go ahead and take a shot at it and see exactly what it does to the ship. So it took about 4% of our hull off. I guess if we got caught up in one that's close to a couple of others, it could actually do some damage. There's one here that's gonna have that would have had some overlap with it if both of them got triggered at the same time. But in the grand scheme of things, 4% of your hull isn't really that much. But this large asteroid here that I'm circling is our destination. There is a research base. You can kind of see a little bit of the towers of the base right here. That's our destination. Looks like that intel we got pans out. The Klingons are definitely hiding something here. That should be the defenses handled. Oh, we got one more. I almost missed one back here at the backside of the base. I guess they were kind of hoping for the defenses of the natural defenses of the area to kind of help conceal this base. Otherwise, that's really lightly defended. Excellent. The defenses have been neutralized. We should be able to proceed. With your permission, I'll join the away team. I believe they're standing by, awaiting for your orders. So we need to transport down to the Klingon base and investigate what they are doing there. Heads up, I'm reading several Klingons in the area, but my tricorder is also picking up 2 additional life signs ahead. Hostages, perhaps? Place a breaching charge on the door. I usually sell those when I get enough of them. They don't sell for a lot, but they just take up space in my inventory that I don't use. We got a room full of Klingons here, and it does look like they have some scientific hostages in here that they're forcing to work for them. Should be able to beam them out.
I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but ask fast. I'm going to the shuttle bay and getting out of here.
Oh. Okay, so they're going to take a shuttle out of here. How did you get here?
I'm an independent researcher. Word got out that an interested party was paying a lot of latinum for simple projects. It sounded like a good deal. Then I got here, found out the Klingons were my new employers, and the good deal was work or die. I should have known better. There used to be about 20 of us working on various projects. As people completed their work, they would disappear. I heard one of the Klingons say that my time was up. You got here just in time.
What do you know about Ambassador Bavat?
Bavat is the one running this whole operation. I overheard him say he's keeping the Klingon Empire strong by prolonging the war with the Federation. He thinks that unless the Klingons have an enemy on which to focus their energies, they'll fight amongst themselves and tear the Empire apart. kind of hope he's right.
He's not really that wrong. The Klingons have fought amongst themselves quite a few times. Do you know his whole plan?
He hasn't let much information slip, but I know that he found some sort of device abandoned in deep space. He wants to use it in an attack so horrible, the people of the Federation will demand that Starfleet take revenge. The fighting will continue for years.
What are you going to do now?
I'm heading for the hangar, finding the first ship that will fly and getting out of here. I'm done working for Klingons. Some of them are honorable, but Vivat cannot be trusted. His desire for war with the Federation has blinded him.
What do you know about the weapons here?
The Klingons are planning something big. They have been forcing us to design weapons. They want improved disruptors and torpedoes for their ships, but some of their demands have been very specific.
How so?
They want a weapon that can punch through solid neutronium, which is impossible. And they keep talking about torpedoes, with payloads big enough to destroy a small planet.
Were any of you successful in designing these weapons?
There are prototypes of some of the new weapons in the laboratory here, as well as schematics on the base computers. If I were you, I'd destroy the prototypes and the schematics. Neither side needs that kind of destructive power.
So we need to rescue both scientists and then destroy the experimental weapons in the main laboratory. She's on her way out.
Thank you. These Klingons have had me designing weapons for them at Disruptor Point. The scientists who finished their research are taken away. We are the only two left.
Well, you're safe now. You can leave. Both scientists are safe, thankfully. I suggest we locate those weapons now. We can set up explosive charges and remotely detonate them when we return to the ship. Good idea. Let's find those weapons. We got a quick Iconian weapons data report to pick up.
These will help. The Iconians' advantage against us is their technology, but our researchers have been hard at work to find a way to counter that. We've survived the Borg, we've defeated the Dominion. There's no challenge Starfleet can't overcome.
And we'll get into the Iconian War later. It's part of the main storyline. Alright, time to move on in to destroy the experimental weapons. You'd think we could have had the scientists open the doors for us, but no, we had to blow them all up. Not watching where I'm going, I got stuck there on a wall segment. So, in this room, there are 4 sets of weapons. These are the experimental torpedoes and weapons that we have to destroy. There's a patrol group of Klingons walking around, and there's a couple others spread throughout the room. I kind of want to take them all on one at a time. I don't want to have to fight too many all at once. First charge set. Second charge. Number 3. Number 4 has another group of Klingons around it. Looks like we triggered everybody with this one fight. That one guy didn't really stand a chance. He got the full attention of all of my crew. Alright, here's the last charge. There's a computer core nearby. Let's see if we can upload its contents to your ship's computer. The data we find may give us insight into how the Klingons were planning to use these weapons. We may even find hints of Bavat's ultimate plan. So the computer is up here. Trionium. Trionium is a rare item, I think. A rare element. I don't do a lot of crafting in this game, but every once in a while I will do some, so having a stockpile of the stuff is actually kind of necessary. Alright, let's download the computer data. We got a group of Klingons coming in. Okay, so we survived the ambush, and now it's time to just return to the ship. We have the data. Preliminary analysis indicates... Hold on, something's happening. Sensors are picking up a Klingon vessel leaving the facility. We could really use you back on the bridge, Lieutenant. So, Zarva's saying this like she's back on the ship when Zarva is actually with us. Sometimes that happens, and it's kind of silly when it does. Let's go ahead and beam back to the ship.
Face to face at last with one of the Federation's greatest officers. I've read much about you, though I'm not as impressed as our intelligence agents are. After all, you were rather easily led to this system by a few well-placed pieces of bait. I've had pet dogs with more sense. I have everything I need from the research station, but I must say, humiliating a Federation war criminal is, as the humans say, an added bonus. Try to stop us if you must. However, I won't think poorly of you if you walk back to Earth with your tail between your legs, there to whimper at your master's feet. You have lost this day. Victory is mine, and mine alone. Comply!
Tactical, what's the situation? Never mind Bavat, Lieutenant. We have more immediate concerns. I'm reading several Klingon ships on sensors. Looks like they were attempting to escape the system. Looks like they're trying to use the asteroid belt to mask their warp core signatures. If we hurry, we should be able to intercept them. So Bavat's going to get away from us, but we do have to stop these Klingons from getting out.
Target's shields have failed.
Below the explosives in the facility, you can see it destroyed behind us.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
And that should be the last Klingon that we have to defeat. Excellent work, Lieutenant. Bavat won't be getting his hands on those experimental weapons, and we have recovered a lot of actionable intel from that base. I've transmitted the data we pulled from their computer core to Starfleet Intelligence. Here's hoping it gives us the edge we need to bring an end to this conflict once and for all. So now it's time to depart the system.
I've read the after-action report filed by Lieutenant Van Zyl. Pity we weren't able to apprehend Bavat, but I'm glad we shot that weapons facility down. Nicely done. As for that weapons research the Klingons were conducting, Starfleet has some of our best people analyzing the data you recovered. We'll find out what Bavat and his people were doing there soon enough. There's a lot more intel to analyze, and I suspect we'll be working again soon. Klingons don't tend to think small, and we'll need the best we can get to deal with Bavat and his
machinations. I don't know why that cut out there. So we got 2,600 experience points, 1,800 expertise, the energy dampening armor Mark II, 384 pieces of dilithium ore, and then we get to select either a neutronium alloy Mark II console, a particle generator Mark II, or a directed energy distribution manifold. So the particle generator would buff special kind of damage, mainly science officer kind of stuff. I don't really have a lot of use for that right now. I don't have a lot of scientific abilities, so that one doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. The neutronium alloy will make us tougher. It's basically extra armor, and the directed energy distribution makes us hit harder because it boosts our phasers. I'm going to take the neutronium alloy. It's what I usually do at this point. We'll collect this reward.
Admiral Quinn says you're the right officer for this job.
And what I'm going to do is actually exit this right now instead of picking up the briefing for the Doomsday Device set of missions. That will be for next time, because that triggers a chain of missions that eventually culminates in a rather spectacular final battle. But I don't want to get too much into that, and this way we can actually hear the briefing from Commander Burgess when he gives it to us. We did get some skills.
Intelligence needs your help. Admiral Quinn says.
And I'm going to put our next skill point into the Advanced Hull Capacity Mark III. This skill increases the maximum hull capacity of your starship. While each starship has its own base maximum hull value, each point of hull capacity skill always provides a bonus of 0.3% to the base value. Shuttles and other small craft gain a smaller benefit from this skill, which changes with level. So this will give us plus 15 to hull capacity. My current hull capacity, I think I can see it. If we go to, let's see, stats. We'll go to the stats of the ship, and my current hull capacity is 20,010. If we take this skill and then go back to the RXS Arcadia. Okay, it doesn't look like it actually updated. I think that's the base. Regardless, we did get some additional hull points because of that. So this is where I'm going to leave it. When we come back next time, we will pick up the briefing for the Doomsday Device set of missions. And I hope you enjoyed the video today, everybody. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button for me. You can leave a comment if you want. I'd love to hear some feedback. Please feel free to subscribe. I do a couple of videos each week. I don't know when I'll be recording Star Trek Online next. Probably next Sunday if I get the opportunity to. But until next time, everyone, live long and prosper.